How to get started flipping homes without experience. Thank you very much for coming back to my channel. I'm really excited about today's episode because there's a lot of upside potential in flipping homes, but there's some fundamentals. Let's get to it. Thank you very much for coming back to my channel. My name is Raja Tayeb, real estate broker of Fit Realty Services, investor, 15 years of experience and counting. So in today's video, we're gonna cover one of my favorite topics, flipping homes. So I'm gonna share with you some fundamentals about flipping homes, and I'm gonna share with you a very simple formula how you can actually determine whether or not this is the right deal for you. Let's get started. So number one, the most important thing, you need to set a time. You need to decide how much time you're going to be able to dedicate to your flip business, right? Because if you don't schedule it, if you don't put it on your calendar, if it doesn't become a weekly thing, it's simply not going to happen, right? So, for instance, you might do early mornings before you go to work, or you might have a little side hustle at night when you come from work, right? Or maybe you dedicate your weekends to it. But set a time when you're gonna actually learn about the flipping and you calendar it, right? And I would recommend at least probably like 10 hours a week, right? So very first, super important thing, set a time when you're gonna dedicate to your flip business. Number two, define your target area, right? And learn everything about it. Make sure whatever target area you decide to look for flips, you master the neighborhood. You know the school district, you know the average sales prices, you create connections with the brokers. You understand where foreclosures and REOs are happening. You know where the Supreme Court is, right? Define your target area, learn everything about it. Super important, right? Number two. Number three, build your dream team. What does it mean? You need to have an excellent contractor, at least 2-3 different contractors to give you quotes, right? You need to have a great realtor who will be able to run the comps on recent sales, what's in contract, what's available, so you can make sure that the property you're buying will be profitable, right? You need to have a great accountant who will help you set up an LLC and will be able to basically help you with all the accounting. You need an incredible banker because you might need a financing. You might need hard money, you might need home equity line of credit, you might need other investors, right? So another investor, so a dream team. You need attorneys, you need great bankers, you need definitely great contractors. The most important thing, what makes the deal or breaks the deal is the contractor, right? That's probably the hardest part of a flip. So make sure you've got a relationship with not one, at least 2 to 3 great licensed contractors. They'll be able to give you a great tips and great quotes on what the possible renovation would be, right? So build your dream team before you even intend to invest money into a flip. It's crucial to have a team set up in place before you start investing money, okay? Now, very important thing, you make money when you buy the property, right? So buy right. Most important thing is when you buy the property, because the after sale market value, it's not gonna change. It's pretty much already set, right? It's not like that you're gonna paint it with a different, nicer color, though it's gonna increase the market value. So make sure you buy the property right. Now, how can you find a deal, right? Because remember what we said, you have to buy it right. So where do you find these deals? So there's several different options, right? Obviously, the most lucrative these days is going to be foreclosures. There's tons of auctions you can do online or in person, or there's going to be REOs. There might be a purchases you can buy directly from the homeowner, something called for sale by owner. And sometimes we have unfortunate events as divorce and deaths, where basically you can also get good deals. So just bear with me. At the end of the video, I'm going to share with you a last video we shot regarding a detailed explanation on what's a foreclosure, what's a REO, what the differences are, and how can you actually purchase them. So at the end of this video, we'll share with you about foreclosures and REOs, okay? Number 5, I'm going to share with you a very simple formula. How can you actually calculate yourself in less than 5 minutes whether or not this is the right deal for you, right? So what we do is we reverse engineer the whole process. So we start with the after repair value, something we call ARV. It's a very important term in flipping homes. ARV, after repair value. So we reverse engineer the process and we look at the final market value. So let's say, just for an example, let's say the market value after repair market value is $600,000, right? So number one, how much should you purchase the property from, right? So the rule of thumb is you should not buy it for more than 50 to 60 cents on a dollar. What does it mean? You should not pay more than 50 to 60% of the ARV, after repair value. So let's say if you're gonna get it at 60%, because now obviously in today's market it's very competitive. There's a lot of investors out there, going after a flip home. So let's say we'll use the 60 cents on a dollar. So if the after repair value is $600,000, that means you should not pay more for the property than $360,000, right? So that's the first very important thing. 50 to 60 cents on a dollar, 60% of $600,000, $360,000 should be your initial acquisition cost of the property. Number two, your renovation. So you should not go over 75 cents on a dollar, meaning you should not go over 75% of the after repair value. So if we have 60 cents on a dollar purchase, we've got 15 cents on a dollar left for the renovation, right? So simple math, $600,000, 15% of that, it's gonna be $95,000. So you have $95,000 budget to renovate the property. Now, where are you gonna focus? The four more important things, 4 to 5 more most important things are obviously the kitchen, the bathroom, the flooring, the paint, and the lighting, right? These are the most important things. This is what people really always pay attention to. When you come in, they want to see a great kitchen, beautiful bathroom, great flooring, nice paint, and obviously once you get a lighting, everything just comes out really, really nice, right? So you got about $95,000 to renovate the property, and always overestimate, right? So we got $95,000 just in case there's any hiccups. Because dealing with contractors sometimes can be painful. Timeline is not met, right? Sometimes the estimates come a little shorter. So you yourself have to always overestimate, right? So we cover 60 cents on a dollar purchase, another 15 cents on a dollar for renovation. The last part, the last piece of a puzzle, it's gonna be when you're gonna sell the property, right? So that's something we call a cost to sell. So the cost to sell is roughly about 10%, about 10 cents on the dollar. Now, what does it include, right? It's gonna include your brokers. So we usually allocate about 4% for the real estate brokers to help you really get the highest possible price the market could bear. Then we allocate another 3% for discounts and staging, right? Because you might not be able to sell the price for the full asking price, right? So you want to have a little room, even if you sell it for $590, $585, we allocated 3% for discounts, and of course, stage properties sell always faster and for more money, right? So you should always stage your property. So that's another 3%, and then we've got another 3% for transactional cost. What's the transactional cost? That's gonna go between your insurance, and keep in mind, this property is vacant, so you need a vacant insurance, number one. Number two, you need to have a carrying cost allocated on the side, because on average, it might take up to 6 months. So you'll have to pay for the utilities, you'll have a water bill, heating bill, electric bill, right? Something we call a carrying cost. And then when you sell the property, you'll pay transfer taxes, right? To the city and to the state here in New York City. So that's gonna come from the three. So you got 4% for the brokers, 3% for discounts and staging, another 3% you've got for transactional costs, right? So in this event, if you had purchased the property for $360,000, you spent $95,000 renovating the property, and then you've had another $60,000 of closing costs. At the closing after the sale of the property, you basically walk away with a net of $85,000, right? So 6 months project, you've done your numbers, you've located the right buy, and you're gonna walk away with $85,000. Now, it's a very simple, in a nutshell, flipping homes formula, right? You always have to be flexible here and there, right? You might not be able to get it at 50, 60% to a dollar. So you have to take in consideration the amount of renovation. That's why the contractors and the whole dream team you're gonna build prior you get into this business is crucial. That's gonna either make the deal or break the deal, okay? Here you have it. How can you actually get started flipping homes without any experience? So make sure to watch the video we put together on REOs and foreclosures. Great stuff, definitely great stuff. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care now, bye.